Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast brought to you by LineStar Sports. Make sure to go check them out on Twitter at LineStar DFS and at LineStar MLB and get the app. That is just the best part about this. It's the only reason we're doing this is the LineStar app. So go get the LineStar app, Google Play Store, Apple App Store. All the goodies are there. The chat room, the lineup optimizer, the stack tool, the values, everything's there in one spot, and it's amazing. So go check that out. You can find me on Twitter at BDentric and my co-host, as always, on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing?
D-backs win, comeback win. Love it. I love seeing that. Obviously, not a lot going on with the Bats today outside of Chicago. Lots of good pitching today, though. Kikuchi was amazing.
Yep, Kikuchi got it done. Gibson and Perez were like half decent. Bauer wasn't great. He gave a 2-run homer. Lauer shut down the Dodgers. McClanahan had his debut. Bassett struck out a ton of. Yeah, it was pitching, and he had to find like the random RBI doubles here and there and stuff for the most part, unless you had the Cubs. It was very slow.
Very quiet Bats for sure.
Yeah, all the main offense was in the doubleheader that we couldn't play. So
right, which was so weird. I mean, honestly, like I get everything. We record the show. Yeah. I edit everything. I get it scheduled to post at midnight, like we always do. Everything looks good to go. And I swear to God, as I'm done with that, as I'm wrapping it up, you text me and said, and they just changed it and they took the White Sox and Tigers off because the doubleheader. And I was like, of course, which changes prices and everything. But hopefully you guys got the gist of what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, I just laughed. I'm like, oh, they did this and they fixed the Braves dilemma that we were talking about. And like, well, yep. Thanks a lot, guys. So I'm just gonna give you guys a heads up. There might be another one on this slate because the Dodgers are calling bullpen game where they haven't said who's starting. So DraftKings has an assumption. FanDuel has nobody. Just throwing that out there right now. So we'll get to that game eventually. We have 14 games to break down for you on a Friday. So as usual, busy Friday. So we are not going to waste any more time. We're going to get crack-a-lackin' on this one right out the gate. And it starts off with New York at Philadelphia. We have a wonderful total of 8.5 on this one. Marcus Stroman, Chase Anderson. You got Stroman at 84 on DK. He has 85 on FanDuel. Anderson is 57 on FanDuel, 73 on DK. I'm a Stroman fan. I just don't think I want to use either pitcher in this matchup, Bogman.
Yeah, too many pitchers to pick from. Don't like pitching to the Phillies in that bandbox. So hard pass.
Yeah, and you just said something really important there that I've had some people ask me in the LineStar chat, different chats, like how do you narrow it down on slates like this? And I said just plant your flags. Like I like Stroman, but I'm not using him tonight. So
right.
We kind of talked a little bit before the show that there's like 7 pitchers I kind of can narrow it down to. Like just start narrowing things down. You're not going to be able to get everything. So
yeah, it's the opposite of the short slate where, just any tiny knock that you don't like. This lineup's white hot, not throwing the good pitcher against him. This is a small ballpark, not throwing that guy. Look for the guys that give you the little advantages instead of the little disadvantages. So
yep, exactly. Be picky. So speaking of that, are you interested in any bats on this slate or in this game?
A lot of PVB data in this one, obviously. I mean, Matt Joyce, should he get in the lineup, is 5 for 15 in his career off Stroman. Real Muto, 5 for 10. Didi, 9 for 36. He sat today, right, after getting plunked in the back. I think him and Harper both sat. Harper's already passed concussion protocol, though, so he should be back out there tomorrow. Brad Miller, 8 for 35 in his career with a double, a triple, and a homer. Nimmo is 3 for 9 against Anderson. Jose Peraza is 6 for 21. But then you got the hot bats here. Hoskins still hot. I'm still banking on him. Conforto's warming up, 43 and 28. Jeff McNeil, 47 and 26. JD Davis, 4,000, 3,100. And Pete Alonso, 56 and 38.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you. It looks like if you're going to play anything in this game, it's the Met side of things for me to be contrarian. But as a whole, I actually wouldn't be contrarian against Anderson, but I'm just not overly invested in this game. I do like the Brad Miller value, though, at 3,400. Going on to the next game, Miami at Washington. Still waiting on a total on this one because it looks like John Lester may make the start, but I'm also seeing Joe Ross everywhere. So this is the fun one because Lester cleared COVID protocol through a bullpen Tuesday. He's scheduled to pitch on Friday, but a lot of DK has Lester at 72. I believe Ross is 74 on DK if you so choose. Ross is on FanDuel at 76. Either way, Ross or Lester, the Miami bats are intriguing, but we have Lopez at 81, Pablo Lopez on FanDuel, and 78 on DK. I think Lopez is the guy we can agree on.
Yeah, I'm interested. And this is one of those little ones where everything lines up for him. So yeah, I'm in on Lopez at that price. And there's some big pitchers today. So specifically on DK, you're going to have to find at least one because you're going to spend up on one pitcher, it seems like. So you're going to have to find one secondary guy you like, and Lopez is definitely going to be one of those guys for me.
Yeah, I probably won't pay for him on FanDuel. There's other kind of mid-tier to upper-tier guys on FanDuel, but on DK, yes, he definitely checks the boxes as one of my SP2 targets. He might not have the biggest ceiling, but I love his floor with the potential. His strikeouts are up this year, and that's a big, big thing against a Washington offense that, outside of going to Dunedin, not great, Bob. So what bats do you like in this game?
Jesus Aguilar has been white hot. So 47 and 36 is a decent price for him. John Berti at 31.23. If he should get in there, Trey Turner 54, 4,000. Yadiel Hernandez too at 29 and 24 has been a nice bat recently, as you have mentioned in the past couple episodes. So if he gets in there, he's a pretty good buy too.
Yeah, I expect Hernandez to be here. He's been hitting versus right-handed pitching. He's been hitting second. He has 3 straight multi-hit games. I will jump right back on that bandwagon at 29 on DK and 24 on FanDuel. And then if it is Lester, it makes me like Miami even more with the Aguilars, the Duvals,
the right-handed power.
Yep.
Right.
And it really, if it's Ross, I like targeting Ross. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not as in love with it. If you give me Lester making his debut on the season, yeah, that seems pretty nice to me. All right, Detroit at the New York Yankees. This is a good one. Tariq Skubal, Garrett Cole over under 7.5 on this one. Cole's 10.5 on DK, 12.2 on FanDuel. Skubal 61 on DK, 6K on FanDuel. Pretty sure we're both off of Skubal, but Garrett Cole, obviously elite, obviously in play pretty much every night. Are you targeting Garrett Cole tonight?
Yeah, I think you have to. You know, the Tigers lineup, as you mentioned, strikes out at a higher clip than anybody else in the big. So, I mean, this is a perfect matchup. A strikeout pitcher against a strikeout team. It seems really nice.
Yeah, you should be able to expect, unless something really crazy happens, which is baseball, he should be notching up 10 plus strikeouts in this game. It should be pretty good. Cease carved them up on Thursday, like Rodon did, but we expected that. Cease carved them up,
and they're probably whooped after playing the doubleheader on Thursday too.
Yeah, it literally ended like a half hour before we started recording, and I'll give you a trade secret. It's almost 10 Pacific time right now, so it's 12 their time. So, and they're going east, losing another hour.
That'd be close to 1 their time.
Yeah, as I'm saying. So start doing the math on this. They might be a little tired on this one. So yeah, Garrett Cole not good, but Tariq Skubal, he's not the greatest, not the worst. Are you targeting any Yankees bats in this one?
Yeah, I mean, Stanton 52 and 37, still a good price. Gio, as we've mentioned the last couple days, 36.28. Odor has been nice, 37.26, drove in a run today. And Higashioka, like we said yesterday, 38 and 29. These guys have all been hitting recently, so get them in your lineup.
Yeah, I'll keep going back to your Urshela over and over again. With the lefty on the bump, I'm also intrigued by Gleyber Torres. He had a big game-tying ground rule double. He still hasn't hit the home run yet, but he was hitting better overall in Baltimore, which was good to see. And he's 42 on DK, and on FanDuel he's only $2,400. So, and he's been hitting right next to Urshela. Makes for a nice, easy, affordable stack on both sites, especially FanDuel. All right, the one that I'm waiting for, and there's no total in this game, but we go to Cooler South in Dunedin, Florida, for the Atlanta Braves and the Toronto Blue Jays. And Bogman, we get Drew Smiley versus Robbie Ray. I'm not even going to give the prices because we're not using pitchers. But give me all the Blue Jays bats in this game. Yeah,
I mean, look, Robbie Ray would be, Robbie Ray would have been nice on Thursday's slate. You know what I mean? Where it was a lighter slate, because he's been a lot better than I gave him credit for. Watching with the D-backs the last couple of years has been brutal. But he looks like he's just an improved pitcher this year. They're trying to fix him. But like you said, in this big lineup, we ain't using any pitchers here. So it's going to be all bats. I mean, stack Braves, stack Blue Jays. Either way, it's good. 56.43 for Acuna, Albies, Freeman, Riley, Swanson, Guillermo Heredia, Simeon, Vlad Jr. I'm paying up for big bats in this one.
Yeah, the Cubs Braves series was like a monster series, and Acuna didn't really do much of anything. That's the crazy part. Freeman had a home run. I think Albies had two. Azuna's homered in back-to-back games. He homered on Thursday night. Riley's hitting with power. They're all there. You can still get Riley for cheap. Swanson for cheap on DK especially. So you have that going for you. But man, some of these DK prices for the Jays, like some are pricey. You got Bichette and Vladdy, which is fine, but you can get Grichuk for 43. Springer's back for 45. Biggio's Biggio, but Gurriel's 34. Like there's value, and then you mentioned Heredia for Atlanta at 31. So you can get value pieces with the big dogs in this game on DraftKings, which is usually hard to find. FanDuel, there's value everywhere. It's ridiculous, but DraftKings, it's usually like if a team's chalky, they're all going to be expensive.
Yeah,
you can make it work, and that's what's really scary. And then FanDuel is just beautiful. Like you can do whatever you want as usual. So yeah, stack it up. What I would say is look at the lineup, find a spot in the lineup you like that fits your financial aspects of it, and go. They're going to be popular, but I'll take the Toronto side over targeting Drew Smiley any day of the week. That's always a fun hobby on any day that ends in Y. So hit me up on that one. All right, Chicago at Cincinnati. We go to Great American Small Park. We leave Coors South to Great American Small Park. Beautiful things on a 14-game slate. Cubs, Reds, Arrieta, Miley. Total is 9, which is kind of funny, boss, because Miley and Arrieta, who
they've both been good.
Exactly. So Arrieta is 75 on DK, he's 82 on FanDuel. Miley's 7K on FanDuel, 74 on DK. Like I'm not using either pitcher, but I was surprised by the total.
This game makes my stomach queasy.
Yeah.
It really does, because I could easily see a stack of either team paying off for you big time. But these pitchers have been pitching great. Miley hasn't given up more than 4. Arrieta hasn't given up more than 3. He gave up 3 against Milwaukee. And then the next time he played Milwaukee, he gave up 1. So he's been great in his starts so far. 3 quality starts on the year for Arrieta. So I don't really want to mess with this game as a whole. There's a lot of good PVB data here. Just because, division rivals and all that stuff. Votto is 8 for 22 against Arrieta with 2 doubles and 2 homers. Suarez is 4 for 13 with a bomb. 6 for 14 for Chris Bryant against Miley with a double and a bomb. 4 for 12 for Contreras with 3 doubles, and 4 for 15 for Hayward with a double and a triple in this game. But so if you wanna play bats here, I think I'm more inclined to play bats. I think that's a more instinctual thing, like you said, Great American Small Park. But I kind of don't want to mess with either side here.
It's tough. Like the way I want to look at this, if I am going to mess with it, I kind of want the Cubs side. Like I 100% agree. I wouldn't be shocked if either. Like I wouldn't be shocked if this is 14-13. Like
right.
Like the Reds D-backs games you guys had. Like it wouldn't shock me at all. What if I have to pick a side here? I'm picking the Cubs for 2 reasons. First, Miley, I'm just waiting for their shoe to drop. And if you're targeting the Cubs, he has reverse splits. Like you still want Baez and Bryant and these guys, but the lefties will be great against him, and that's quietly sneaky. Plus, you get the value of Horner and Duffy, who have been playing really well. And Duffy's been in the middle of that order. So that's an angle as well. Lastly, you get the Reds bullpen. And they are atrocious. So,
bad.
like, literally, Miley could go through 5 and give up like 2 runs, and they get 4 innings of bullpen and just unload. So that's kind of the angle I go with the Cubs if you want to do that on this slate. All right, Houston at Tampa Bay. A fun one here in the Trop. And we don't have a total. Yeah, we do. Lance McCullers, Ryan Yarbrough, total of 8 in this one. McCullers 85 on DK. He's 74 on FanDuel. And then Ryan Yarbrough is 83 on DK. He's 62 on FanDuel. I get the FanDuel price because Yarbrough doesn't usually give you quality starts, which is very important on FanDuel. But it's still quite the drop-off. It's just hard for me to roster either of these guys, Bogman.
Yeah, I mean, once again, there are other pitchers on this slate that I like that are cheaper or more expensive either way. So McCullers hasn't been his best as of yet either. 6 innings in his last game and 5 strikeouts and only 2 earned. The previous game before that, he gave up 6. And the previous 2 games before that, he only gave up 1, but he only went 5 innings as well. So I'm just not interested in the pitching here.
And the one thing I remember from last year, Joe and I talked about it a lot, McCullers was a massive target at home and fade on the road. He just had issues on the road. I don't know what it was. This Rays offense is really bad right now, but I think I'll sit back and watch with so many other options. Any bats you like on this game? This is like almost a cross-off game for me.
Yeah, I'll take some bats here. I mean, Bregman, 47 and 36 is 3 for 5 with a double in his career off Yarbrough. Jose Altuve, 2 for 6 with a double. He's starting to warm up too after coming back up off the COVID list. We got a couple hot bats in this Houston lineup as well. I wouldn't mind stacking the Astros. This isn't a cross-off for me. 45-34, Kyle Tucker 31-3,000. Good price there. Straw 27-23, Correa 53-36, Brantley 44-32. These guys have all been hitting recently, and Randy Arozarena at 4,032 are just some decent prices. So I'm not messing with the pitching. I might mess around with the hitting though.
The one thing I'll mention, and I'm not saying he's a play tonight, but to keep an eye on going through the weekend when you don't get to hear our lovely voices. Austin Meadows now on DK's first base and outfield eligible.
Oh, good call.
So if you need flexibility there, and he's only 3,400 against McCullers. So like if you want a GPP value, he's got that upside, but I also want to bring up his positional flexibility. Going on to Texas. Boston at the Rangers in this one. Eovaldi, Arihara, over under 8.5. You got Eovaldi at 82 on DK, 78 on FanDuel. Arihara is 68 on FanDuel, 55 on DK. Eovaldi checks the box as a potential SP2 for me, Bogman.
Yeah, he does. He's been pitching well. Arihara has been good too. He just doesn't offer the strikeout upside.
No, massive pitch to contact, which is not good against Boston.
It's just not good. So it's not good overall. So I mean, some days he looks really, really sharp. Other days he's gotten rock. So I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on Arihara. Eovaldi is a maybe.
Yeah, he's on the list. Like if you need an SP2 and he's more GPP than cash for sure. Like Pablo Lopez, I could see in cash. Whereas Eovaldi is strictly a GPP play for me. What bats do you like in this game? Because I do like targeting pitch to contact pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount here. Devers 53-36, Verdugo 47-32. But I like some Rangers bats here. I just like the prices mainly.
Yeah,
Adolis Garcia at 37-33. IKF, who hit a bomb too deep center tonight, 38-27.
Did you send that to Spore by chance? Just checking.
Well, Mason did.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
On Twitter, so I didn't have to.
Good guy.
39-32 for Nate Lowe as well. So those are the bats I'm kind of interested in on the Texas side.
Yeah, with Texas, like it's almost daily. I think it's like you said with the pricing, Garcia, Lowe, Solak, like these guys, they're very affordable stacks, and we've seen them go off at times. Like they'll never hit for average, but they could hit 2 or 3 home runs and you're just golden every time. So they have that upside, and Eovaldi is known to do that from time to time. So I don't hate that in a tournament. With Boston, though, I love Devers. I love Verdugo. Big fans of them. Bogarts is always intriguing. I just want to see what the lineup looks like. Keep an eye on JD. He left with a migraine on Thursday, so I'd imagine he'll be fine. But migraines are horrible. So like he literally might be just bedridden in a dark room for the next day. So you just don't know. So keep an eye on that one. All right, we head to Milwaukee for the Dodgers at the Milwaukee Brewers. We don't have a total on this one because this is the one I told you about. Milwaukee is throwing Freddie Peralta. He is 87 on DK, 8,000 on FanDuel. DK has Alex Vesia opening as a bullpen game for the Dodgers. FanDuel has nobody. I'm seeing Vesia's name in a few other spots, but nothing has been locked in at all. Just know it's a bullpen game. So are you interested in Peralta, or are you strictly bats? How are you going about this?
Peralta at 87, 8,000 is an okay price, but I just don't want to put most pitchers out against the Dodgers lineup. Even when they're resting guys, they seem to hit every day, but today when Bauer was on the mound, they seem to hit. So I'm going to pass on that. I do like some of the bats on the Dodgers side here. Pollock at 31-24 is still just too cheap. Chris Taylor at 44-36 is about priced outright. Sheldon Noisey's been hitting the ball, so if he's in the lineup, which you never know with the Dodgers because they've been screwing around with that lineup so much, 3,200 is a really great price. I think you can still buy Seager at 48-38, and then Colton Wong on the Brewer side at 4,000 and 3,400 is a decent price too.
Yeah, there's definitely some intriguing parts in Milwaukee. Like I love Freddie Peralta. If you're making 20 lineups or something, I'd have a Peralta or two. But like deep down, I don't want to target the Dodgers unless it's a small slate type thing. So it's hard to do. But the bats, I do like the Brewers as like a low owned angle. You mentioned Wong. Avisel Garcia is extremely cheap on both sides. One other guy I'll make, Shaw went deep. There's guys that'll work, but if Tyron Taylor is hitting towards the top of the order, he's 2K on DK. He's 22 on FanDuel. He's been very, very productive. So keep an eye on that if you're looking for a super value. 2,200 on FanDuel, 2K on DK can be a guy to possibly lock in is a nice value to get some more expensive pitching. All right, Cleveland at the White Sox. Shane Bieber, Dallas Keuchel, Over under 7. Bieber, we already talked about Cole. This is the second of the 3 big dogs. Bieber's 10-7 on DK. He's 12,000, so 200 less than Cole on FanDuel. Yet Keuchel at 65 and 62 respectively. Biebs is on the list, but how excited are you to use him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's third of the big dogs for me. Yep. So I obviously I'll put him in a lineup here or there, but I think because, we've got Cole going and we've got one other guy that I really like going, I'm probably going to pass on Bieber for the most part.
Yeah, it always sucks. Like people are like, oh, you don't like Bieber. No, Bieber's a great pitcher. Like if you want to use him, I'm not going to tell you no. Like he's that good. But when you're looking at savings and you're like on DK, when you're looking at savings, on FanDuel, not so much. But you need that extra couple dollars, comes in handy. What bats are you looking at here? Because I will say it's fun to target Keuchel, but it's also frustrating because he limits damage so well.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good track record here. I mean, Jose Abreu hits pretty well against Bieber.
They have all Bieber well. This is one of those good BVP matchups.
Yeah, 8 for 23 for Abreu against Bieber, 348 with 3 bombs. Yoan Moncada 6 for 23 with 2 homers and a double, hitting 261. Tim Anderson, who will clearly get a home run tonight because I picked him yesterday, 6 for 20 with 2 doubles. That's a 300 batting average against him. So there's some decent ones on the Tribe side. Jose at 54 and 38. He's 6 for 16 in his career off of Keuchel with 4 doubles, 4 for 11 for Ahmed Rosario. Should he be in the lineup? Brand Mills hitting. He's 47 and 35. Rosario 45, 27. And then Madrigal and Mercedes on the White Sox side are also hitting. So I'm not going to stack this game, but I might pick and choose out of this lineup a couple nice PVB here and maybe, get Ramirez in one lineup, maybe Abreu in a different one. So I like the bats here.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Moncada even went deep on Thursday night. Mercedes went deep on Thursday night. Yeah. But I think Franmil's a very, very strong GPP play the way he's hitting right now in that matchup. And part of me kind of likes a White Sox stack. We've seen them beat up on Bieber, even in his heyday the last year or so. They've had his number at times. And so it's very intriguing. If you're one of those players that likes to be really, really contrarian, I think a White Sox stack is one that stands out to be quite interesting on this slate. All right, couple more games to go here. Kansas City at Minnesota. Brady Singer, Michael Pineda over under 8 on this one. I will say though, it's hard to call him Pineda in this matchup because he's $7,500 on or 76 on DK, and he's only 83 on FanDuel. Singer's 84 on FanDuel and 7K on DK. I kind of like the price tag, at least on DK, as an SP2 for Pineda.
Yeah, Pineda is a decent price here, although there's some good PVB data for some of these Royals against him. So I don't think he's going to be one of the guys that I use as a secondary.
Any interest in Singer, who's actually been okay, but I just don't believe it yet.
I feel more interested in Singer than Pineda. That's what I'll say. Not a ton. I think maybe one lineup I'll get Singer in, but I think if I'm picking between them both, I would go with Singer.
Okay, fair enough. But what bats do you like here? Because Minnesota's starting to heat up, and the Royals are sneaky from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, the Royals, like I said, good PVB data here, too, against Pineda. 6 for 10 for Carlos Santana. That's 600 batting average, so he's really good to go at 44 and 37. Whit Merrifield, 3 for 8 with a bomb. That's 375. Salvi Perez, 10 for 26 with a double and 2 homers. And then Gerard Dyson, 4 for 10 in his career as well. So a couple guys hitting hot. Andrew Benintendi at 29 and 27 is starting to warm up. But on the Minnesota side, Buxton obviously 59-44, Cruz, but Jake Cave, should he be in the lineup, 25 and 22, and Astudillo at 36 and 2100. These guys have been hitting recently, so hard to, you're not going to get him in every lineup, but throw him in one. I like it.
Yeah, I love the Cave call. He's like sneakily been hitting good. If people just like look at his overall stat line, they're like, ew, it's nasty. No, he's actually been hitting really good. Kirilov's 25 on DK. He's 2K on FanDuel. He's hit, I believe, in 3 or 4 straight games or 4 or 5, something like that. So he's starting to get going. And I looked at his deeper numbers. He's still like, even though he's not hitting overall and like early on, he's still barreling at 15% of the time and hard hit rate of 60%. So it's not like he's being cheap outs. So this kid's good. He's still hitting 4th or 5th almost every day. So it's an extreme value. I like the Cave call and then the normal suspects on Minnesota. But then on Kansas City, Soler is being sneaky hot right now. Dozier's a guy to keep buying into because he's so cheap. and it makes for a nice little cheap 2-man stack. So I don't hate that. If you want to throw Santana in, like you mentioned, he's on fire. So, and the BVP's not too shabby. All right, Colorado at Arizona, 4 games to go as we head out west on this slate. John Gray, Madison Bumgarner off that 7-inning no-hitter. Over under 8.5 on this one. Gray's 81 on DK. He is 88 on FanDuel. Bumgarner 75 on FanDuel. He is 79 on DK. I'm not using either pitcher in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to fade them both because they both have been good recently. So I think that they're going to be owned a little bit more than some of these other secondary pitchers. So I'm going to pass on them, even though the prices are a bit intriguing.
They are intriguing. It is the Road Rockies that are just tilting as all get up. But it's been a personal motto of mine. And honestly, it's worked way more than it hasn't. Guys coming off like no-hitters and perfect games, I will stack against the next game.
Yeah.
So the Rockies are.
I mean, but are you calling that a no hitter or is it not a no hitter? Because baseball doesn't want to call it a no.
Until baseball wants to play real double headers, it's a no hitter.
That's right. Okay, I'm with you. Absolutely.
If it's an official game in the books, as a win or a loss, so it's a no hitter for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of good PVP data here on both sides. I mean, Peralta just annihilates John Gray, 13 for 29. That's 448 with 2 triples against him. Vote. I don't know if he's going to get in the lineup because Carson Kelly's been so hot, but he's 3 for 11 with a double and a bomb against Gray. Tapia against Bumgarner is 3 for 6 with a double, 16 for 45 for Blackman, who's really starting to heat up right now. 2 doubles and 2 homers against Bumgarner. That's 356. Story has only 8. He's only 8 for 41. That's a 195 average against Bumgarner, but he has 5 home runs against him. So 5 of his 8 hits are bombs. So if he gets a hold of one, it's probably gone. And then Garrett Hampson, 5 for 18 with a double and a homer, hitting 278. And then there's just hot bats on both sides here. Yep. Carson Kelly, like I said, has been hot. Josh Rojas hit a home run on Thursday, 36 and 2,200, almost a free square. Pavin Smith still at the top of the lineup, 37 and 3,000. Nick Ahmed has been hitting 31 and 21. CJ Crone is starting to get a little bit better, but them calling up Fat Adams makes me worry a little bit about Crone.
That makes me very unhappy.
42 and 3,000, and then McMahon is just 51 and 32. There's a lot of I think stacking either side of this game is smart.
Yeah. First, the Jays take Rowdy away from me, and now it feels like Colorado's taking Crone away. Like I am going to get really angry pretty quickly.
He is hitting 195, but as soon as he starts to get rolling, now it seems like they're pulling him out. So
I like the Crone call. I like Hampson a lot tonight for some reason. It's like really because you can steal on Bumgarner too. Yeah, he doesn't hold guys on at all. So it just like makes Hampson even more attractive. But I like a bunch of guys in this game. The D-backs bats are hot. Like even tonight, they should have more than 5 runs. They were hitting the ball everywhere. And so I like what they're doing. John Gray, good, but he's actually been better at home than on the road in his entire career. So keep that in mind. With 3 games to go, quick reminder, check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. Get all the goodies there. Go to the App Store, Google Play, Apple App Store to download the app for all the fun stuff there. If you give a rate and review on iTunes of the podcast, we would truly appreciate it. It would help us out a ton. And if you want to see these beautiful faces instead of listening to us through your ear holes, you want to see us, go to the LineStar YouTube channel, subscribe and like and share all the good stuff there. We're there Monday through Friday. All right, 3 more games to go here. Baltimore at Oakland. John Means, Mike Fiers, over under 8 in this one. We have John Means 8,800 on DK. He is 9K on FanDuel. Fiers 65 on DK, 69 on DK, 65 on FanDuel. I'm not in on Fiers, but I'm intrigued by Means. I know you like him a bit too.
Oh, hell yeah. Means is my guy today. He's my secondary pitcher for sure. We haven't got to my main guy, but Means is my backup. 8,800, 9,000 over his last 2 games. He has 13 and 30 innings pitched with 1 earned run given up, 5 walks, and 15 strikeouts. So I am all aboard the Means train against Oakland today. I'm on it.
Intriguing. Like I'm in tournaments, I'm very, very interested in Means. I know Chapman's heating up, which is interesting. You have Laureano, you have Kana and company, but I see the appeal. So any bats in this game you like?
I mean, I'm going to stick to the Orioles side if I'm going to start Means. So Austin Hayes at 29 and 28, Mullins at 41, 29, Mancini at 45, 32. Those are my favorite bats here.
Yep, you nailed it. I like the top of the order in Baltimore. The one guy I'll mention, if like you're looking for sneak like long shot value, Pat Valleca is starting every day now, and he's 2,500 on DK, and he's even less on FanDuel. So have fun with that. Like he was actually productive last year with regular playing time. So if you want to throw fish in a barrel type thing, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, San Francisco, San Diego, Logan Webb, the guy we've been waiting for. Yu Darvish, over under 7.5. Darvish is 9,500 on DK. He's 11,000 on FanDuel, which makes a little more sense. Logan Webb, who's been good, he's 8K on DK, he's 66 on FanDuel, but man, a $9,500 Darvish on DK is just, as much as we love Cole and Bieber, that savings is too much to pass up.
It's the auto buy. That's my main guy is Darvish, so if you want to go Cole or Bieber on FanDuel instead, I understand, but I'm going to take Darvish on both sides, specifically DK. It's just too good, Yeah, and I don't want any bats here. I just don't. So
yeah, I respect Logan Webb enough. Like if Webb gets blown up and says he's walking everybody, which in the end still doesn't help you DFS wise. Like on a 14-game slate, you need home runs and lots of extra base hits. More often than not, Logan Webb's walking guys or striking guys out. That's just what he does. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but you have to really run hot. And one last thing I'll mention with Darvish, if people want to like see Darvish versus Cole, go look at team splits, Tigers versus Giants. They're almost identical. So if you want to save some cash, like I love the Giants, we target them versus lefties, not righties. It's pretty simple. All right, the last game of the evening, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at the Seattle Mariners. We have Heaney flexing over under 8, prize by over under. Flex 71 on DK, 73 on FanDuel. Heaney is only 68 on DK, somehow less than flexing on DK. It's really strange to me. And 87 on FanDuel. And Bogman and the listeners, this is not like a malfunctioning microphone right now. I am in on Andrew Heaney tonight, so you've all been warned. I am in on Andrew Heaney. He's my SP2 of choice.
It's the most surprising thing I've heard all day, and I watched the NFL draft. So, is that you're in on Andrew Heaney? So
you've all been warned. You've all been warned.
Flexen had a pretty good start out last time, so I don't mind either one of these guys as a secondary. They're not my favorites, though. I'll say that. So, in Atlanta, Los Angeles Bats have been hot. So I like a little bit of a mini Angel stack against Flexen, although he has been good. So, but I want Angels Bats here in this game.
I want the Angels Bats too if I'm going there for sure.
In particular, I mean, Ohtani 49 and 4,000 is a good one. Trout obviously 6,045. Fletcher 31.28 I think is a good price, and Iglesias is still a good price at 32 and 22 if you're looking to save some money as well.
Yeah, Iglesias and Walsh, the really good discounts in this lineup, and then also Pujols, $3,100, crushing it, absolutely crushing it still. So like an Iglesias, Pujols, Walsh stack is super cheap and virtually unowned. So just throwing that out there to you. All right, that's 14 games. 14 games. We love you, Darvish. Oof. The other guys, Cole and Bieber, just fine. No problems. Bogman's SP2 of choice, it sounds like means. Mine's Heaney. So we crossed that gamut. Let's recap our stacks real quick before we head on out of here. Who are your top stacks for the night?
I like either side of Colorado, Arizona. That's probably number one. And I'm going to go back and pick on Robbie Ray. Atlanta is a decent stack as well. I know you like the contrarian stack for the White Sox against Cleveland too.
I think that's interesting. And then I definitely like the Toronto Atlanta total. Like just stack that game. Go to town on that game. There'll be other spots as lineups come out. Like somehow I think someone in that Chicago-Cincinnati game is going off. Someone, if not both. It just feels like it just has that feeling it's happening. So I like that quite a bit. But let's wrap it up here on a good note. Home run call of the night, everybody. Follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app at LineStar MLB, and they will tweet out the home run calls of the day from myself, Bogman, and Ryan Humphreys. If one of us hits, one lucky retweeter will get some free swag. So, Bogman, on this Friday, April 30th edition, who was your home run call of the night?
Give me, and I don't think I've taken him yet this year, so I'm just trying to get on the board again. Ronald Acuna Jr. Against Robbie Ray. Top of the lineup should turn over a bunch. So, give me Acuna Jr. with multiple chances.
Yep, I am going to Dunedin, Florida as well. I was going to go with the very popular, very beastly individual, but I'm going to pass on Vladito, and I'm going to mix it up a bit, and I'm going with Randall Grichuk to take Smiley deep. Grichuk just loves his lefties, and it's pretty much all or nothing with him, so give me Grichuk going deep on a Friday. But that'll wrap us up, everybody. 14 games in the book, another week of baseball in the book. When we come back, we'll be in May already. A month of baseball. It's just flown by, Bogman. It's absolutely ridiculous. But you can find Bogman on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm at BDintric. We'll be back with you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.